Hammerwatch is a dungeon crawler game that was released for PC back in August 2013. It was later ported to just about every other platform including the PS4, Xbox One, Mac, and more recently the Switch. This is done in a pixel art style which I do have to say looks fantastic, and the soundtrack is pretty epic to boot. Here you have your choice of single and multiplayer with up to 4 players. You can pick from 1 to 7 classes to play as, those being the Paladin, Wizard, Ranger, Warlock, Thief, Priest or Sorcerer. Each have their own distinct playstyle, but personally I found those with ranged attacks fared much better. I do have to say my first impressions when I tried the standard campaign solo were not great. I played for about 20 minutes and got bored. The gameplay is a little basic, it's not bad, but it left a bit to be desired. Backtracking to find essential areas was a bit of a chore due to the sheer size of the map, and the repetitive mashing of monsters got a little dull. But I think my approach was wrong to begin with. In that first attempt, I treated it as a stock standard hack and slash game with plenty of bullet hell moments. Going in and wailing on enemies non-stop gets stale fast. But when I went back to try it again later, I realised this is a much more slow-paced adventure game, secret passages, puzzles, and some dungeon mapping. I also tried the Temple of the Sun campaign and found it to be a lot more interesting and engaging with a central hub, characters, and an actual story. Multiplayer, however, is a different matter. Off the bat, this game is old, so it's not surprising to find the game is very sparsely populated or completely empty at times. So unless you have a group of friends willing to play with you online or sit on a couch in local co-op, finding a team will be rather difficult. That aside, the online experience was rather good. The issue of dungeon size is negated due to the fact that your team can split up and cover more area. We managed to find a few extra secret areas and puzzles, like this one here that I screwed up way too many times, and this bonus level along the way. All things I never found on my first playthrough. Local multiplayer, unfortunately, won't allow you to spread out since the map stays at a fixed size. I might recommend it for 2 people, but certainly not 4. Our team's response during our first playthrough was quite mixed. Starting off finding it a bit boring as we treated it in the aforementioned hack and slash method, finding it to be enjoyable for the middle part once we got the hang of it, but started trailing off at the end. But to be fair, we'd been playing for over 3 hours at that point and I was 6 beers in. Unsurprisingly, the specs for this game are so undemanding that even Mojo was able to play this on his potato laptop in multiplayer while streaming without a hiccup. Hell, you could run it on a garbage PC from 2006 or a Raspberry Pi. Maybe not a Chromebook though, they suck. I should also mention that there's a campaign editor as well, but I'm really lazy and I didn't have any desire to dig into it. Although there are a handful of user-made campaigns on the Steam Workshop if you get the itch to try something different. Now normally this game sells for $10 US on most platforms, but if you're getting it on Steam it frequently goes on sale at 80% off. Not to mention they have the always handy 4-pack available. As for recommending this game, it's a good solo experience, better in multiplayer, but you really need to have a dedicated team for it. So if you're interested, add it to your wishlist and wait for it to go on sale. And that wraps this one up. Big thanks to Mojo and TrueCap for joining me for this playthrough, and thank you all for watching. We'll see you again next time.